Hi, it's me, Rachel Economy. Welcome to my couch. I'm wearing migraine glasses, which is why I look like I am attempting to be a rock star indoors. It's both, really. I wanted to hop on really quick and discuss something that I've been playing around with in my brain because I want to hear what other folks are thinking about this, coming from the design thinking world and the disability justice, disability rights world, chronic illness world. And that is about the concept of rapid prototyping. If you're new to design thinking, awesome, welcome. I feel like I'm new to design thinking. And at the same time, I feel like design thinking is like a basic human creativity that, in fact, you're probably not new to, especially if you come from any kind of marginalized community where you have been hacking and adapting for years to meet needs in creative ways with the system working against you. You're probably an exceptional design thinker. Um, so, this is the people's design thinking method that we're talking about here. But the phrase rapid prototyping gets used a lot, also in like product development and Silicon Valley, um, around like get something really quick and easy that you can test early on to see if an idea is desirable or viable or feasible. And they have specific definitions, of what each of those means in a business sense, but I think the words themselves are useful. So an example is, I'm opening a Etsy shop right now. Something that I can do when I really, really feel terrible, when I'm in a flare, is I can make crafts at my own pace. And so I am curious if I can still do that and enjoy it if I monetize it. And so for me, I could spend days, hours, months just like making lots of beautiful things before putting them in the shop because I like to make the shop. I like to make the thing itself. But rapid prototyping tells me actually, let's get a few things in the shop and start testing. Are people coming to the shop at all? Like, are my ways of notifying people about the shop working? Are people interested? Is there interest and desire here? And then which of the products are they interested in? If I flood them with a bunch of different craft products, it's like a chapbook of my poems, this embroidery that I made. But if I put a bunch of those in the shop at the very beginning, people might buy them, but my ability to figure out the data is going to be tricky versus if I have just a few things that are in different categories early on and I see like, oh, people really want the books and zines and not the handmade stuff. That's interesting. So I'm getting, this type of audience. And do I want to make more of those things or do I want to try to find other people who want the other types of things that I really want to make? Where is that, worth it? How am I doing it in the lowest investment way for myself? So for me, that means what do I already have made around the house, right? I have chapbooks, I have zines, I have some earrings that I've made, I have some embroideries that I made. I have so many ideas for things I want to make. I would rather start making those. I'm going to use the things that don't cost me anything because they're already made. I've already put the investment in. They're just sitting around. They are easy for me to photograph and put up on the site. I know what they are, so I can explain them really well. And I can see what happens. I can find out what happens quickly. I can send it to 10 people and say, if I'm giving you this many free dollars in the shop, which of these are you going to buy? Right? Since they're things I've already spent money on. So the idea is to come up with the lowest cost, lowest barrier way to test the idea out and see what people actually do if there are other people involved. Or if it's for yourself in your home or you're adapting your garden or whatever, get something in place so that you can test it out without having invested a ton of time, energy, and resources. For those of us who, like me today, experience intense flare ups of chronic fatigue, nausea, headaches, brain fog, investment of time and resources and energy can become an even higher cost activity. So the idea of prototyping can be really helpful for us. And at the same time, sometimes we can be, or I can be so low spoons, right? Have so few units of energy available that doing lots of rapid, quick processing of data, trying this thing out and not getting attached to it can be really challenging because it's the only thing I had time to put energy into. So to let it be able to fail, if all I have energy to do this week is get those things up in the shop, it is so challenging to treat them as prototypes, as things that are, it's okay for them to fail because it's data for me. So I'm just thinking about that sort of conundrum. And I'm curious what you guys think, what y'all think about, is the rapid part of prototyping really helpful from a chronic illness disability perspective of like, put in as few spoons, as few energy resources, time, money as possible to test if the thing works? Or is it that because I have to allocate my energy, time, and resources so carefully already, it feels incredibly high risk to prototype in a way that it might not if I felt like I had an abundance of any of those things? And how can that in and of itself become a design question? So if it is that the preciousness of my energy is impacting my ability to prototype, how can I delegate or prototype slowly? What about slow prototyping, right? Where it's still low energy and resource investment, but it takes longer. How can we sort of disability hack this? Because the idea of doing everything fast, very market driven. Sometimes that helps us get around our putting too much thought and energy into a thing that we don't need to invest that much energy into, but many times it requires a ton of energy. So I'm sort of curious, like, what's the disability hack around prototyping, or several? What's the design hack around slow prototyping? Can we maintain this fail early, fail often, fail comfortably, fail playfully, get information with low resource investment sort of wisdom, this tool, when we move slow, when we have snail days? I'm having a snail day. I'm talking fast, not because I have energy, but because I want to finish this so I can lay back down. I can't always prototype rapidly. Sometimes that means that I start to let my perfectionism sneak in because if I'm going slowly already, I might as well make it really good. That's not prototyping. So I'm curious what you think. What do you think are some hacks around this? What do you believe about prototyping rapidly as taking more or less of your energy, or both? How are you hacking this? How are you designing? How are you prototyping? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to talk more about this, reach out. I'm always available to chat design thinking and disability. Love it. We're going to working on having a webinar soon on design thinking and disability that is itself a prototype. Like, do people want this? Is this helpful? Is this fun? So it'll be a low stakes, playful, but also information and tool rich webinar that hopefully will be happening sometime this summer. So if you're watching this video when it comes out, that will be after this. If you're watching it later, it may already be out, in which case it is probably here on the channel. Hope you're doing well and happy designing. Thanks, everyone. Feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.